Hey, welcome everybody. Today we're going to be working on the train rail yard, getting these tracks set so that they're, I guess what I'm looking for. I've got the train station, have the loco shop, got the boarding area. I think I'm going to redesign this a little bit. If you remember, on the loco shop, I redid the doors so that the trains could go in and out. This looks a little tall. I think it may be a different scale, but I can make it work by shortening the roof line down lower. I think that'll be pretty slick. Somebody else mentioned, one of you folks, over in this area, the train, when it's pulling a load up through there, there's a dip and then a really quick rise. And right there, the locos were fetching up and getting stuck there. So I'm going to pull the ballast up. Fortunately, none of the ballast is glued, so I'm going to vacuum that area up and lift that track up so that it's a smoother transition there. So that is actually my first project. So I'm going to work on that right now. And loco, you're going to be the example, but you're going to wait just a minute right here. I finally get a chance to get the passenger cars out. They're just set there. They're not hooked up or anything yet. I like the colors. They match the buildings. That's pretty cool. Okay, over here. I'm going to vacuum up my ballast here. So I haven't pulled, since I've glued it down to the styrofoam, I haven't had to pull it up. So I don't know how easily it's going to come. I know it came up hard off of plywood, that's for sure. Yeah, it's really not even touching there. I may even come up a little further back here. That's pretty noticeable. Vacuum. Holy smokes, Batman. I just spent 45 minutes pulling this track up higher to make it consistent so that there weren't dips and rises to it. So I just temporarily put wood blocks underneath it. Seems to be going pretty well. What do you think? It's still spinning there, but it seems like it's all consistent down through there. It is a 3% grade, maybe a pinch more. I've taken care of that. So now I'm going to start right in this area, putting in the first turnout. It's a Atlas HO code 83 nickel silver rail. This one is the right remote. I'm going to run run them over to a control box right in front of that train station area. Underneath, hopefully it'll be a pull-out type station. Let's see what happens here. Some assembly required. So these screws and the control box I'm going to keep separately until I actually wire everything up. All right, I've got all the rail joiners on here. I've connected two pieces of track going out that way. Let's see how easy this goes together. I have those two full lengths of track and the turnout. attached, and I drew a line, a pencil mark, so that I know where I'm going to pull that away, and I'll know right where to put the caulking. It doesn't take much. There we go. Right there. Perfect. And I've done the same thing with this one. I have a nice mark there. I've got it bent exactly as I want it. I am using that as a weight. Let's see. I probably should have dry fitted this first. Probably messed this all up. Well, it's in there. Make sure I'm lined up good here. Perfect! So because I don't have enough track, I am going to complete the outside loop first, but I'll put all the initial turnouts in so that they're ready for when I do get more track. Also, somebody had a great idea to use coffee grounds, so I started saving some of that. They said that it looked really good around the train shop, the locomotive shop, like for oil spill kind of thing. So I'm looking forward to using that when I start decorating. Little side note. So I've glued these down and they're stuck really well, so it gives me something to push against for the next track. It's a little easier to shape that. So you can see this one's a little long. I'll trim that to length, and then it'll slide in better, and it'll continue on. Another little thing that I noticed on connecting the tracks was the angle. Let me do it this way. The angle that I cut them with. I found that on some of the other track, I was cutting the angle this way, not purposely. I wanted it straight up and down, but at least I want to go some this way so that the tops are tight. Just like that. Alrighty. I have looks like an extra rail connector there. All right. So again, I'll draw. That works really good, just a light pencil mark. It's all going to get covered with ballast. Make a cutoff short of the end so I know I don't go too far. Pull that off. I conscientiously try to get all the rail connectors in one spot. So when I pull one off, there's a mark. Put it back in a box so I know right where it is. With much effort, I got that one on. For some reason, it just did not want to go. Okay, put some weight on here. Good. And great progress. I have attached these two together. This is the power source. This is the second turnout. Let's see how these go together. Wow, that was about the easiest one I've ever done. Good. I'll have to secure this a little better for strength underneath, but that's all good. And another section ready. Next to the last section is done, all set. Now we'll do this one over here, and that's the connector piece to this track and the further track, and it's the last piece. As you can see, I'm just about out of caulking. I don't know if this will make it or not. Oh, I think it's going to make it. I'm really pleased with it. This is my third layout. I'm really pleased, actually, the way I think I've learned a ton. So that just about wore me out. I was at least 15 minutes just getting this last about 4 feet of track in place. One of the problems was I had used this track on a previous layout, so it was all kind of, it wouldn't hold its shape. It would pop right back to straight. So I got it, and I think we're good. I'll let that set for 2 or 3 hours, and then I'm going to try this baby out, see if it goes all the way around. Everything is set so far. I haven't started running the Railyard items, track and other turnouts yet, but I need to clean this mess off because I want to run some trains around. So I was running the loco around to see if everything was good, and I got right here. Yeah, the track is pulled out of off of the ties, the sleepers, and I've tried to snap it back in to no avail. Not sure how I can fix that short of removing this track and putting a new one in. Kind of disappointing. Hopefully this comes up fairly easy. It's like Superman, right? Well, it certainly came out easy enough. And finally ran out of caulking. You can always tell when it's a good day when you start out with a brand new tube of caulking. All right, let's start here. By George, I think we got that one. By George. And now I've got to flex this. All right. Now I got to put some weight on that. That's exactly, I think, where I want it. There, I've got some good weight on there. You probably notice I got this on here. I need to absolutely, definitely, positively make sure I don't turn on the power. I've unplugged it because that would make a connection to both sides, and who knows what would happen. Okay, I'll let that dry. And now I'm down even one more piece of track as far as doing my Railyard. I think I see 3 pieces over there. I'm going to put those on, and then we're done with the train yard until I can get more track. This is my first time building a actual rail yard, so that's pretty exciting. I've always wanted to. Well, not always. Good share of the time. So I think we'll draw some lines here. Let's see, I don't want to... So these, with the turnouts, these little pieces of track come, and I'm actually going to use these. It worked out really well. Put that there. I'm going to do like some long sections of track. I'm going to put it all together and then do this one last little bit. I already bent this one, flexed it, so to speak. Hey, hey. I'll be doing another track here, but I think that would be too much to try to glue down. Okay. So I'll put these together. These go together really well. No, they really do. There we go. Come on. I remember the first layout I did. I put it on thick and I didn't squish it down, and I just pushed it and it came up through the rails. That was a mess. This should be a lot better. Oh yeah. Good. That is going to be so cool coming in switch. I haven't done this on any of the other layouts. Oh, I'm so excited. Redesign. I pulled this one off. It was right here, but it seemed like it made the angle a little bit more difficult. So I got this one bent, flexed the way I want it. I've drawn a line. Put some caulking on. What? It went right on. Good job. Wow. Let's put some weight on all of this. I'll get a couple more. Oh, yeah. While I'm waiting for the caulking to set over there in the rail yard, I'm going to hide these wires. I'm going to drill down, get those out of the way. I'm going to go as close as I can to the track itself. Easy as that. There we go. Much cleaner. And I can turn that around again if I need to for the polarity. Wow, that one went easier. Much neater. This will be, so finally, I have a good plan. It's going to be a little bit stressful getting the track to bow like this because my track is worn out from previous flexing, but it's going to be similar to that. And then these supports for the train, I have to bend this just a little bit more. Get that like that. So the loco shop will be there. And then the rest of my sorry looking track is going to go here. This needs to flex a lot. It keeps popping back. So I'm going to have to glue it and work with it. So it'll be positioned like that. And then there'll be a turnout here. Let me move the train shop here so you can see that. Will be like that. And so I have to order more track, but it will come. Actually, I'm going to make it like that. So it'll curve around. It'll curl around, coming back here, and then it'll head over to that other turnout to make a connection. So I'll be able to, I'm sorry, I'll show this in the next video. I can't fit it all in. There's a lot of slow work right here. But with that, it'll come back and around. That will leave a nice big area here for a road to come in here to a parking lot for the train station, as well as be able to get some other commercial manufacturing industry type structures here. So that's what I got. Hope you enjoyed this one. This was great progress for me getting these. I can't wait to get these actually electrically hooked in. That's another, there's so much to do. Anyway, I'm enjoying it. Hope you are. Have a great day. Probably I'll run the trains around a little bit just to show that both tracks are operable, and that will close the video out. Hope you enjoyed it. Leave a comment, hit the like button. Please subscribe if you're not a subscriber. Thanks a lot.